Guys, T-Fit here with Fit Bully TV. How long does it take to better a trait on a dog through breeding? Or how many years would you take? Who would you breed to? What would be your focus point? How do you better your program when breeding? For one, remember patience is the name of the game. Two, you want to like, subscribe, and share, guys. I can't thank you enough for watching. Shout out to all the UK people. I said I'm going to do that a little bit more. You UK people, man, y'all watching. I'll tell you right now, y'all is watching. You got into the bully space. You got an American bully. It's the closest thing to a pit bull you can own to feel like you got a dog per se. And there's a lot of great dogs there. I like the giant schnauzer. But because you're here for the bully business, I'm going to teach you the bully business and things to be mindful of. And now even more importantly, because I'm getting more messages from overseas, I need to do a better job of packaging things and teaching you how to manage the dog's quality of life, which we'll package on Kajabi and other platforms so you can see a system that I use because I got a lot of dogs. All of my kennel partners do. So if I were to, Bam Bam's out of his cage, start with the female, which I told you to do. Let me be very clear in saying this. If someone says, hey, why the girls? Not to try and chew on my foot. Why the girls? Well, girls are going to build you the correct way. If you take a big boy, let's say he's 120 pounds to an 80-pound girl, are you going to get a 120-pound dog? Not normally. Because a big boy doesn't mean a big boy. They normally take on the mother's size and her features. So if I were to, let's just say one trait, 9 out of 10 times you aren't going to get big head, tight feet, let's say the shorter muzzle, all in one breeding. Now, is it possible? Oh, absolutely. But you guys are doing what they call scatter breeding. So there's inconsistencies in your program and you're not getting. Now, if you take a short-nosed dog per se, a shorter muzzled dog to, your female, you could get 1 to 2 realistically of this, but the percentages, they're going to be off unless there's a concentrated look that both parents have, but even more importantly, the boy has, or realistically the female has. That's a whole nother thing. Let me slow down and just walk you through this right here. Let's say I wanted to add height. I have a 19-inch female. I want to breed dogs that are 20 inches. Well, what would I do? 20 to 21 inches realistically. I take her to a male. So let's say this female here. Let's say she's 19 inches. I want all my dogs realistically to get to a place where they're like 21 inches. 21 inches. So if I buy a female, it's going to take me 2 years. Let's circle this here. It's going to take me 2 years realistically, no less than a year and a half or a third heat in my experience. Oh, I breed on the first heat. God bless you. And to be very clear, I wouldn't recommend it. 2 years for her to grow, become what you need her to be, make sure all of her endocrine system's working. You don't short her per se. Shorter means if you breed a female too early, you can actually stunt her growth. Food for thought. So I buy a female, she's 19 inches tall when she's fully grown. I want all my pups to be 21 inches and up, or at least 21 inches. Well, I've got to take her to a boy. So she goes to a boy, the boy is 22 inches. Now we've at least raised the pups 1 inch, that's 20 inches. I keep a female from this litter, and I want the female that's the biggest objectively, because now I'm betting on her being in the middle. And then I turn around, take her to another male. Or I keep a male, my bad. And then if I want to tighten up on her look and also raise the height a little bit more, guess what I would do? I would take the grandma to her grandson. I tell you, this gets a little confusing, but now let's look at the body of work, meaning how long it would take to actually be able to do this level of work. You're looking at 6 years. 2 years, female. This is the one that's going to influence the most traits in a sense. And what I mean is, again, Chris Moore did it and talked about it, I believe, in one of our videos. You take a big dog to a small female, the dogs ain't going to come out super big. Hey, dogs are playing too much. They're not going to be super big. They're going to take on the mother's traits. Especially when it comes to a size thing. And then you don't want a big sloppy dog. If the bones don't have anywhere to go, you're going to have some crazy other things going on with the dog. So to get 2 inches on a female realistically, or an inch or two, you got to turn around and do what? 2 years on this female, 2 years on this female. Oh, my bad. This is the same female. So 2 years on this female, a year and a half to 2 on this female, and then take this male and then take him to his grandmother. So she comes down here. So you've got, again, mama, daughter, grandson, and that's if you was going to tighten up on some traits. And still, even then, you're only getting 1 to 3 dogs realistically. So 33% the chance that you get the things that you're looking for in that litter. So you keep that best dog, and you keep tightening up on traits while doubling down and also minimizing. Look, this dog, he's still, you know, when your dog gets sniffing around too much, hey, nah, brother. Nah, brother, let's get you outside. So at anywho, this is how I would do it. This is how normally people would do it, but mind you, this is just off of one trait. So guy says, hey, Trev, I got aunties, uncles, mamas, cousins, but let me be very, he just said, Trev, I got 3 relatives in my dog's pedigree. I said, so what was the trait? You know, he said, what's the coefficient? I said, well, what was the trait that they were focused on? He says, what do you mean? I said, what was the trait? You know, at some point there were pit bulls back in the day that they bred for wide mouths because they were fighting them. And you get this particular one, when he get that dog get a hold of you and his kids get a hold of you, ooh, he had a good, he's not coming off of that bite. There were dogs, you know, that they bred for specific things. I'll just leave it at that. We'll keep it simple today. 2 inches on a dog. You got 6 years of work. Don't overthink it. Guys, they're not breeding better dogs. Bloodline is a word that they use as a hyperbole. Man, I got that bloodline. No, you don't. No, you don't. Nobody's focused on that anymore. They're not concentrating on it. And I won't say nobody. I think there's some people out there that are breeding good dogs, great dogs. And at the end of the day, realistically, you're just breeding dogs. That's what it comes down to. One of my goals is to create consistency in what we're doing, which is also why we don't do any outside breeding. So stay tuned. Take care of your dogs. Remember, 6 years of work. Female, male, to his grandmother. You tighten up on the traits. You take the biggest boy out of this. Then you basically hit him with 3 or 4 more females. 3 females that are not a part of your program. Keep 1 female and work from there. You want to know more about this kind of stuff? Guys, I'm not going to say I'm going to read the comments, but if we get enough comments and comments that are like, hey, well, what about this? Or I'd love to learn more about this. I'll do some more stuff that kind of walks you down this road and help the best that I can. Thanks for watching, guys.